The other problem is at a national security level that the White House doesn't trust the Pentagon. What is happening here? This is like a soap opera. This is a scandal that is just now happening. We're just finding out, can you hear that? We're just whispers of what's taking place. And in the following weeks, my prediction is this thing's going to blow up because this is MAGA against MAGA. This is the defense secretary against the White House, against trying to shut this story down because there is an alleged national security agency, the NSA, an illegal, unconstitutional wiretap of domestic individuals that is being alleged here. Being alleged that the Pentagon is being surveilled by the NSA through illegal, again, unconstitutional wiretaps, unauthorized wiretaps. It's going to be a big one. And we're just starting to hear about it now. This is from The Guardian. White House stunned as Hegseth inquiry brings up illegal wiretap claims. Exclusive. Trump advisors lose confidence in Pentagon leak investigation Hegseth used to justify firing 3 top aides. So they started this investigation about a leak, right? When the whole signal thing broke. And then when that investigation starts turning up things that they don't want to be made public, all of a sudden, oh, no, we don't want to talk about this. We don't want to talk about this. This is too much. Because let me tell you, if they can wiretap the Pentagon, and if they have indeed wiretapped the Pentagon, there's no hope for any of us. There's no hope for you and me not being illegally surveilled under this police state. The White House has lost confidence in a Pentagon leak investigation that Pete Hegseth used to justify firing 3 top aides last month after advisors were told the aides had supposedly been outed by an illegal, warrantless national security agency wiretap. The extraordinary explanation alarmed the advisors, who also raised it with people close to J.D. Vance, because such a wiretap would almost certainly be unconstitutional and an even bigger scandal than a number of leaks. But the advisors found the claim to be untrue and complained that they were being fed dubious information by Hegseth's personal lawyer, Tim Parlatore, who has been tasked with overseeing the investigation. The episode, as recounted by 4 people familiar with the matter, marked the most extraordinary twist in the investigation, examining the leak of an allegedly top-secret document that outlined options for the military to reclaim the Panama Canal to a reporter. The advisors were stunned again when Parlatore, it might be Parlator, he's the red-headed-ish former lawyer with the bowl cut, hair helmet, you might remember. The advisors were stunned again when Parlatore denied having told anyone about an illegal NSA wiretap himself and maintained that any information he had was passed on to him by others at the Pentagon. The leak was first attributed internally to Hegseth's senior advisor, Dan Caldwell, who was escorted out of the Pentagon and fired last month alongside 2 other aides. Hegseth's former deputy chief of staff, Darren Selnick, and the deputy defense secretary's chief of staff, Colin Carroll. But the illegal wiretap claim and Caldwell's denials fueled a breakdown in trust between the Pentagon and the White House, where the Trump advisors tracking the investigation have privately suggested they no longer have any idea who or what to believe. This is a problem for a number of domestically, this is a problem that we can't even trust that our government is not surveilling us, is not illegally and unconstitutionally using warrantless wiretaps to track us and what we say on our phones privately or in our homes. That's a problem. The other problem is at a national security level that the White House doesn't trust the Pentagon. Who do we have what is happening here? This is like a soap opera. Listen to this. Read this, or listen to me read this. The fraught situation is sure to increase pressure on Hegseth ahead of a Senate hearing next month, and more broadly for his office, which has been roiled by the leak investigation that is now continued for nearly a month with no new evidence or referral to the FBI. The fallout has left Hegseth with no chief or deputy chief of staff, as he relies on 6 senior advisors to run his front office, which is involved in setting the direction of the Defense Department that has a budget of nearly $1 trillion per year and oversees more than 2 million troops. Look, having served in the United States Marine Corps on active duty for years, I can tell you this reeks of lack of confidence from the top down and from the bottom up. People who are lowly enlisted fellas like me, lowly enlisted personnel, they need to have confidence in the chain of command. They need that chain of command to be strong from the bottom all the way to the top that happens to be inhabited right now by Pete Hegseth. And we can't rely on it as civilians, as citizens of the country, as inhabitants of the United States of America to have this being done. Our national security is at stake as they're playing games constantly, as they are not doing the job constantly. Who would have thought that when you put an agent of chaos like Pete Hegseth, the alcohol-troubled, allegedly, Pete Hegseth, the credibly accused sexual assaulter of women, Pete Hegseth, who would have thought that this chaos would be visited upon us, that our national security posture would be diminished on a global stage, that we are weaker with Pete Hegseth? Who would have thought that? Who would have thought that Donald Trump would have picked the worst possible people to put in the most important positions? Who would have thought? What do you think? You can comment below. I would encourage that. That'll help me get myself back into the algorithm's good graces. I would appreciate that very, very much. You can also call the voicemail line 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. Please consider helping support this work, helping support independent media in general. If it's not me, that's fine. I mean, it'd be better for me if it was me, but if it's not me, that's fine. Find somebody out there that does something that brings you value, whether that be a newsletter, whether that be a YouTube channel, whether that be a podcast, and support them. A couple bucks goes a long way if individuals are able to marshal the size of their audiences, and there was a high participation rate in supporting that. If it is me, click the join button below. You can be a channel member for $2 a month, or you can go to my Patreon, patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. I love and appreciate you very much. Starting to feel a little better. That was gross. That sound that I just made. Hopefully we can lower the level on that. I'm getting a little better. So by the weekend, I should be great. We'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.